Live, local, late breaking. WPBF 25 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, the tropics are firing up tonight. The first hurricane of the season is getting better organized in the Atlantic. Hurricane Beryl is expected to reach the Lesser Antilles by the end of the weekend. And we're also tracking a new storm off the coast of North Carolina, which will likely become a tropical storm in the next few days.
Back here at home, strong storms are pushing across the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast, which could have the potential to trigger flooding. A viewer sent us this lightning photo from Tradition just moments ago. Hello, and thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Tiffany Kenny.
And I'm Felicia Rodriguez. We have team coverage for you tonight on the storms and the tropics. We begin with meteorologist Chris Martinez. Chris?
Yep, it is a lot to talk about. Let's get right down to it. First, we're talking about the potential for some flooding in towards the Treasure Coast, especially around Vero Beach in towards Port St. Lucie. Live first alert Doppler radar. Let's get to it. Strong thunderstorms continue to form and sit over St. Lucie County, where that area could see 1 to 3 inches of rain per hour across that area. That has prompted a flood advisory, and you can see as we track heavy downpours from Fort Pierce back into the heart of Port St. Lucie, raining pretty good right along the turnpike 95 up and down through St. Lucie County out towards Tradition as well. Heavy downpours continue outside of Florida Ridge, Vero Beach. Light to moderate showers continue back out towards 95 in Indian River County. Still dealing with some light sprinkles in through Sebastian, back towards Fellsmere, and also a corner of southwestern and northwestern St. Lucie County. Heavy downpours now beginning to pop just west of Fort Drum, back towards Bassinger, just north of the city of Okeechobee, and you can see more storms now moving into a portion of Palm Beach County. Here's a look at Pahokee, back to the north of Belle Glade. These are moving towards the acreage, Royal Palm, Loxahatchee. A lot of lightning strikes, gusty winds, the potential again for some heavy rain as these showers and storms continue to move towards the north and east. Future for the remainder of the evening shows strong storms confined around the Treasure Coast, Okeechobee County, St. Lucie County, some developing around Palm Beach County. These storms will be in our forecast through at least 9:30 tonight before we lose all that daytime heating and we send all those storms away. That's a look at the storms. We're also talking about the tropics. So let's continue our live team coverage and bring in our severe weather expert, Mike Lyons, to talk about just a crazy busy day in the tropics. Mike?
Boy, you're not kidding, Chris. Not one, but two systems. Our first hurricane of the 2018 season, and likely over the weekend, another tropical storm, perhaps a second hurricane as we head toward the middle part of next week. Let's begin with Hurricane Beryl. Again, it doesn't look like much, certainly not that characteristic spin that we've seen from big hurricanes like Irma or Maria last year, but nonetheless, this is Hurricane Irma, and the Hurricane Center tells us the winds right now right around 80 miles per hour. Here's the 5 o'clock advisory. Winds are 80. The system is moving west at 15 and forecast to continue on that westerly track for the next couple of days as it gets closer and closer to these islands, the Lesser Antilles. On Sunday night, it will maintain hurricane status, and because of that, a number of tropical storm watches and hurricane watches have already been posted for these islands. But again, it's a tiny hurricane with the hurricane force winds only going out 10 miles on each side. We continue to see the storm as it moves through the Caribbean. It is forecast to weaken considerably, and the good news, by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, it should be gone. It poses no threat to the United States. Meanwhile, the other system is just off the coastline of North Carolina. This is Tropical Depression number 3. It's likely to sit there for a better part of the weekend before beginning to move offshore, but in doing so, it is likely to get a little bit stronger. Winds now at 30, moving north-northwest at 5. Here's the forecast track from the Hurricane Center. Again, becoming a tropical storm. The next name on the list, by the way, is Chris. Then a hurricane as we head toward Tuesday. Then out to sea. Could cause some rough surf for the outer banks of North Carolina. Thankfully, that's it in the tropics. There's enough on our plate right now, and of course, those big storms. Chris is back with South Florida Certified. Most accurate forecast in a couple minutes.
As Mike mentioned, Beryl is a very small hurricane. The storm is about the size of Manhattan, which is only about 13 miles from the top of the island to the bottom. Just to give you some perspective, Hurricane Irma spanned almost 425 miles. We'll stay with WPBF 25 News as we continue to track Beryl and the depression near the Carolinas Mike was talking about. You can download our free mobile news app to get the latest advisories sent right to your smartphone. And now to live local late breaking news in Royal Palm Beach, where deputies are investigating a deadly shooting.
Anthony Costura is live near Southern Boulevard with the breaking details. Anthony?
Well, it is certainly making out to be a very busy evening for investigators here. I'll step out of the way so you can actually see these investigators working diligently. We know the call came in around 4:30 this afternoon of that double shooting that you mentioned earlier. This is the area, again, of Royal Palm Beach and Southern Boulevard. Right now, a few dozen squad cars and a chopper looking for that suspect. We know one man was shot and killed. Another man was hurt and taken to the hospital. No word yet on those victim names, but folks who work here say they feel uneasy about this whole ordeal, especially, of course, if that suspected shooter is loose. From the sheriff's office, there's no official suspect or motive of the shooting, but that is where they're hopefully asking for your assistance. If you happen to know anything, you're urged to contact Crime Stoppers. That telephone number for you is 1-800-458-TIPS. Again, 1-800-458-TIPS if you happen to know of anything. Of course, we'll stay on the scene until we get more information for you, and we'll have the very latest for you on WPBF.com as well. Reporting from Royal Palm Beach, I'm Anthony Costura, WPBF 25 News.
Anthony, thank you. And now to more breaking news in West Palm Beach. Firefighters are on the scene of a fire on Claremore Drive. We're told the fire was contained to the second floor of the home. A neighbor across the street rushed to save a dog. Right now, it's unclear if anyone was home at the time.
Take a good look at your screen right now. Medical waste is popping up along Palm Beach. Blood vials, syringes, and needles are just some of the items some people have spotted in the sand. A local beach cleanup group first reported the problem last year, but volunteers say it is only getting worse. Ted White is live along Palm Beach with more on this disturbing situation. Ted?
By all accounts, it is a problem that continues to exist. And how many people go to the beach every day and walk along the beach? Now, take a look over here. About a month or two ago, we began reporting about all the seaweed that's been washing up on shore. To make matters worse, some of that medical waste is under that seaweed. Near the shores of Palm Beach, this crew is preparing to get down and dirty.
We're actually here Monday through Friday. We're out 5 days a week. We clean the jetty, from the jetty all the way to Sloan's Curve.
They're part of the group called Friends of Palm Beach. They're on a mission to keep the beaches clean. It is not easy.
On one day, I can collect 150 pounds of trash.
Along the way, they often find dangerous things that wash ashore.
The medical waste, it's been in abundantly lately, a lot. We have vials of blood, syringes with needles, needles with caps, needles without caps. The most alarming is the IV bags filled with medicine and the work still attached to it. Oh, here you go.
Within minutes, they find even more medical waste, stuff that is dangerous to animals and people, especially children.
The children have no idea what it is, and they just want to jump in and see what it is, and they want to play with it. So if they get pricked with a needle, our theory right now, we trace back a few different vials from Cuba, and we think it's definitely coming from cruise ships, and the tides are bringing it in.
Friends of Palm Beach has been around for 5 years. They have volunteer cleanups once a month. The group survives by working on donations and sponsors between the private beaches. And it is safe to say that people will not stop going to the beach, so the best advice, be careful where you walk. We're live on Palm Beach. Ted White, WPBF 25 News.
Ted, thank you. The former Vero Beach doctor who distributed counterfeit opioids that led to at least one death will spend the rest of his life behind bars. A judge sentenced Dr. Johnny Benjamin to life in prison. He will also have to pay thousands of dollars in fines and restitution. Prosecutors say video shows Benjamin putting a bag filled with fake pills in his car. Investigators then linked the pills to a West Palm Beach woman's death. Benjamin's attorney told the TC Palm he plans to appeal the conviction and sentence. New at 6, the Boynton Beach babysitter charged in the death of an infant has accepted a plea deal. Jessica Amster pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of aggravated battery with bodily harm. A judge sentenced her to a year in jail with credit for time served. Police say that Amster hit the infant back in 2015, but never called for medical help. An autopsy report showed the 5-month-old had bruises, bite marks, bone fractures, and brain swelling.
A man who was found shot in West Palm Beach has died from his injuries. Police identified the victim as 40-year-old Benjamin Taylor. Detectives found him in his truck along Tamron this morning after a witness saw him crash into a pole. If you know anything about his death, Call West Palm Beach Police.
Music superstar Chris Brown walked off stage after his concert last night in West Palm Beach and walked right into the hands of waiting sheriff's deputies. They arrested him on a felony battery charge out of Hillsborough County. He's accused of punching a photographer at a nightclub last year. According to court documents, Brown left the club before police arrived. The singer spent less than an hour in the Palm Beach County jail before posting bond. He took to Instagram a short time later saying, quote, "What's new?" adding an eye roll emoji. Brown is currently on his Heartbreak on the Full Moon tour. He's scheduled to perform tonight in Tampa.
New at 6, a Boynton Beach man flying a Trump flag in his front yard says he was punched in the face by a stranger who demanded he take it down. Police are investigating the 4th of July fight. Terry Parker shows us what happened.
Here in Boynton Beach, Jeff Good likes to fly his Trump Make America Great Again flag. But on July 4th, he says he was standing out here where some guy slowed down and said, hey, and started complaining about his Trump flag. So Jeff went up to the car, he says, and leaned in to ask the guy what the problem was. He says this guy, an older gentleman, told him that he needed to take the flag down, and then suddenly, boom, punched him with an open fist, kind of grabbed his face. He said he automatically reacted and reached in to hit back, and that's when he says the guy hit the gas, took off, dragging Jeff about 30 feet down the road. He has abrasions on his hands. Somehow he got out. He showed me, though, he thinks his foot was actually run over. The good news in all this, Jeff says, is that he spoke to police, and it looks as though they may be close to tracking down the guy in the car who allegedly hit Jeff right in the face over flying his Trump flag. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Supporting the president. You ain't supporting.
Police in San Antonio, Texas are looking for the man seen assaulting a teenager wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Tonight we've learned that teenager is from Orlando. The incident happened at a fast food restaurant. Witnesses claim a man took the hat off Hunter Richard's head and then threw soda at him. Richard posted the video online to help police catch the suspect, but it went viral.
I didn't think it was going to generate that amount, the amount of what people were doing. I was looking at the comments and some people were like, oh yeah, this is uncalled for, and then people were like, just mixed opinions, but I didn't think it would blow up to what it is right now.
Well, at last check, the video had more than 5 million views on Twitter. Richard has filed a police report.
In St. Lucie County, the Red Cross is stepping in to help a family displaced by a fire. It happened early this morning at the home on Doral Court. Firefighters say all 5 people made it out unharmed. A dog and a cat were also rescued. The cause of the fire is under investigation. New tonight, a Treasure Coast man is under arrest, accused of soliciting adults for sex with children using online chat rooms. Investigators do not believe there are any local victims, but they are asking anybody who may know something to come forward. Angela Rozier has more.
The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office is investigating this case, and according to this very heavily redacted arrest affidavit, the suspect in this case facing some very serious charges. According to the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Andrew Sylvia reportedly used an internet chat platform to chat with other users online about pedophilia. The alleged chats occurred in a room called True Nudist. The report states in April of 2018, Sylvia chatted with a user online telling that user, and I quote, he, Sylvia, had 4 children, with the oldest being 13 and the youngest 5. Sylvia explained he raised the household as nudist, explained touching was good. According to the report, the state attorney's office reviewed those chat conversations, and a search warrant was obtained and then executed at Sylvia's Port St. Lucie home. We stopped by his home, but no one was there. One neighbor tells us off camera she knew Sylvia and was surprised to hear about the allegations. Sylvia was arrested Thursday. He's accused of enticing and soliciting others for sexual acts involving underage children. At the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Angela Rozier, WPBF 25 News.
Next, a dramatic takedown outside a Central Florida store. New body camera video of police arresting a man wanted in connection with a violent home invasion.
Plus, the Gardens Mall just unveiled a unique service for online shoppers, how you can get a $10 gift card by using this new service. You're watching WPBF 25 News at 6.
Now back to live local late breaking news in Royal Palm Beach, where deputies are investigating a deadly shooting. We know one person has died, another was hurt. Stay with WPBF 25 News for updates.
Arms behind your back. Now hands on your back.
Well, gripping new police video shows the moment a man wanted was taken into custody. Benjamin Hoven is accused of forcing himself into a Seminole County apartment, raping one of the women inside, and then stealing her car.
Dan Billows is in Titusville, where Hoven was arrested.
The guy whose car blazed in the middle of US 1 yesterday was pretty unlucky, but not half as unlucky as Benjamin Hoven. Officer Austin Quinn, who is ordering Hoven to the ground here, would not have been in the area if not for the fire, which was right in front of the gas station where Hoven happened to stop.
I'm in front of the gas quick right now. I got a white male on the ground. Handcuff him right now.
After his unlikely capture in Titusville yesterday, Hoven was in a jail courtroom today on a charge of resisting arrest. But police say he'll face charges of rape, home invasion, battery, and more in Castleberry and South Florida. In Castleberry, police say Hoven broke into an apartment and raped one woman while forcing another to lie next to her.
We want to capture him as quickly as we possibly can.
They did capture him when Officer Quinn happened to see him at the gas station, reporting, "As we passed by each other, I noticed he was avoiding eye contact and turned his head away." It took a couple of taser blasts to bring down Hoven. The clicking sound is the taser jolting him with electricity.
Come this way through the road, I'll stop traffic.
Credited by supervisors with superior police work and instincts, Officer Quinn knew whom he'd found.
You know who you look like?
That was Dan Billow reporting. Hoven is now waiting to be transferred back to Seminole County.
New at 6, an internal affairs report shows some members of a landfall team in South Florida were not preparing as Hurricane Irma approached last year. The report shows a shift commander for the North Bay Village team gave officers permission to drink at City Hall. They also reportedly put a cooler in a conference room, then blocked a surveillance camera with a plastic cup. According to the report, the party continued on September 9th as calls came in about the storm. 6 officers admitted to violating a policy by drinking on the job. Chris?
All right, thanks, Flea. Busy evening here across South Florida as we speak. Showers and storms still popping up around the Treasure Coast now and towards Palm Beach County. You can see some heavy downpours now moving in towards Loxahatchee Groves, back towards Wellington, up and down State Road 7 441 through Wellington and western Lake Worth as we speak. And these will be moving closer towards downtown West Palm within the next 30 minutes. Heavy downpours on the eastern side of Lake O now. Here's Pahokee, big time thunderstorm for you. More to come on the eastern rim of Lake O. Back in towards Indiantown, raining pretty heavily for you. Showers really start to blossom up as we move towards Palm City, Stewart. Heads up Jensen Beach, Rio, back out towards Sewell's Point, and crossing in towards southeastern St. Lucie County. Heavy downpours continue. Things looking a little bit better through Fort Pierce. You can see the light rains now just falling right now. Some bigger thunderstorms around Tradition and Port St. Lucie. Within the past hour, had some lightning strikes again within that shower and thunderstorm. Light rains continuing towards Fort Drum, raining pretty heavily on the western side there out towards the Service Center. Out towards Sebastian, Fellsmere, light showers for you. Light showers for you in Vero Beach. Light rain in Okeechobee. A little bit heavier stuff as we move in towards Bassinger. So as we transition to the early evening hours, we're still going to go with the rain chance in the forecast again to around, I'd say, 9 o'clock. And then after 9 o'clock, things should start to wane down here across the area. Of course, we lose the daytime heating. And as you can see, our future track pushes all the rain showers out of the picture as we head through to tomorrow morning. Back to the sunshine to start. And again, we do it all again tomorrow afternoon. The tropics again. It's been a busy weather day. Here's a look at Beryl. Very small in stature and continues to be a small storm moving quickly towards the west at around 15 miles per hour. Still packing good winds of 80 miles per hour. Again, moving towards the west at 15. You can see the latest track. Category 1 storm continues through Sunday. Earlier models had a Category 2 storm at one point between Sunday night into early Monday, but as the system moves in towards Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, we will be looking for some wind shear to kind of weaken that storm, so that is better looking news. This newly formed Tropical Depression number 3, crazy storm, look at this, up and down, and should stay off the eastern seaboard as we get closer towards the weekend. Back here at home, showers and storms continue. Upper level low providing that instability in the mix, so we wrap up the showers and storms tonight. Tomorrow it's back to them, especially into the afternoon hours. There we go again, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. We've got those showers and storms in the forecast. Some could be on the strong side as well. Boating forecast looks like this for tomorrow. Southeasterly breeze continues. First part of the day, it's okay. Your hazards at lightning. Here's a look at South Florida certified most accurate forecast. High temperatures the next few days, right at 90. Showers and storms expected each and every afternoon. WPBF 25 News at 6. We'll be right back.
A new return service is coming to the Gardens Mall. Pretty soon you'll be able to bring back your online purchases and get your money back immediately.
Happy Returns opens at the mall July 20th. All you have to do is go to the concierge desk and someone will check the item. They will ask for your receipt or confirmation number and as well as your email address. As a bonus, customers will get a $10 gift card to the Gardens Mall to use on the same day. Here are the brands they are accepting right now. Take a good look. I'm trying to look at the screen too.
I'll tell you all the names later. I did study it quite a bit earlier.
The Gardens Mall is the first mall in Palm Beach County to offer Happy Returns. Oh, happy day.
Yes.
Done. Showers and storms continue this evening, especially around the Treasure Coast, now moving in towards Palm Beach County. So if you have those Friday evening plans, grab your best friend, the umbrella.
And your BFF.
Yeah, come on now.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11.
Good night.